To the February 10th, 2020 County Commission meeting. I'm going to call on Chief Deputy John Smith to call our meeting to order. Our pledge will be led by Commissioner Harper and our invocation by Commissioner Joe Creek.
All rise. Oh yes, this honorable Board and County Commission now stands in session pursuant to adjournment. May God save this state and its honorable Board and County Commissioners.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for your watch care. We thank you for this legislative body and their willingness to serve. Just guide and direct us now as we go through our meeting. Let us respect each other's views. We thank you for our department heads and the leadership that they have provided for our county. We've been blessed in many ways. We thank the relationship we have between our county and our city government as well. We pray for our state and federal government that they will focus attention on the present and the future and forget about the past. It says in the Bible, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not on thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our paths. In Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Lord, you've given us so much. Please grant us one more thing, a grateful heart. Amen.
Ms. Jackson, would you please read the roll?
You have 20 present and 1 absent.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, up on our agenda, we have approval of our minutes. I'm going to go down. We have a special recognition and a proclamation, and I'll do that, and we'll come back and vote on our minutes. If I could have Miss Heather Stanley from Richview Middle School. And I know you've got a bunch of your students here tonight, so I'm going to ask them to come on down and just line up right here, if they would, please. Commissioners, without objection, I know there's some parents here. Without objection, we'll suspend our rules and let some of the parents come down and take pictures without objection. So any parents, if you want to come down in the front while we go through this and take a picture. So who we have before us tonight is Miss Heather Stanley from Richview Middle School. She's a teacher, and we also have some members of her computer literacy class. And so the FBI Memphis field office recognized students from Richview Middle School for winning the National FBI Safe Online Surfing Award in January of 2020. Students in Miss Stanley's literacy class scored a composite score of 89.72% to win the November 2019 award in the Sharks category with over 100 plus participants. In the month of November, a total of 142,915 students at 2,156 schools in 54 states and U.S. territories took the exam nationwide. 131 of those students from Richview Middle School posted the composite national winning score. The FBI SOS Internet Challenge was developed with assistance of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children with the input of teachers and school administrators. So Ms. Stanley and students, on behalf of the Montgomery County Commission and myself, we congratulate you on receiving this FBI Safe Online Surfing Award and just encourage you to keep up the great work. And so we have a certificate of achievement presented on behalf of Montgomery County to Richview Middle School computer literacy class for receiving the FBI Safe Online Surfing Award. So I would like to present that to you, Miss Stanley. And also, we have a county coin for you and for all your students. So congratulations. You're welcome. Congratulations. certificate and get a group picture? Y'all come on, don't be camera shy. Everybody good? Congratulations. I'm not sure the order we're going to do this first, but if I could have Miss Kira Jones come up, please. Commissioners, I have a proclamation I'd like to present to Miss Kira. Whereas Kira Jones, a Clarksville native, began her martial arts journey at the age of 8 after the film Kung Fu Panda inspired her to pursue karate. And whereas Kira is a freshman at Rossview High School, where she maintains a 4.0 GPA while she trains and competes throughout the world. She also enjoys listening to music. And whereas Kira is the world champion in karate kata, karate traditional weapons, and hardstyle traditional kata. She has competed in the World Kickboxing and Karate Union World Championships in Bregenz, Austria. Did I say that right? Bregenz, Austria. Thank you. And whereas Kira is an accomplished martial artist who took on, where Kira is accomplished martial artist who took on 2 fighting styles in addition to traditional forms and weapons, competing and medaling in 8 events at the World Championship alone. Whereas during the balance of 2019, Kyra, I called you Kira a minute ago, I'm sorry. Kyra won titles in 6 states, 2 countries across 7 different disciplines. She currently has a black belt in Shotokan, a brown belt in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, an orange belt in Judo, a yellow belt in Aikido, and is currently practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And whereas Kira represented Team USA, Team Heartland, her dojos, Harris Holt Martial Arts Academy, Brown Combative Arts, and her Clarksville Montgomery County community on the world stage. Whereas Kira is an ambassador of Clarksville Montgomery County who continues to actively compete in events over 20 times a year. Now, therefore, I, Jim Durrett, Mayor of Montgomery County, and on behalf of the citizens of this great community, do hereby congratulate and commend Kira Lee Jones on her outstanding accomplishments as a martial artist, student, and envoy. Keep up the great work, young lady. Congratulations to you. We're going to get a picture real quick. Right up here. So I have asked Kira to give just a very brief presentation of what she does. I think it would be interesting to each and every one of you. You in the front row, just look out. That's all I can tell you. Okay. They're beautiful. You're welcome. These are some of her medals. Wow. So Kira, she got here a little early and she's inspired me, and so she's taught me a couple of moves. So commissioners, tonight you're going to be blessed with a little move from your county mayor. My screams may not be exactly what they need to be. Get your presentation or your proclamation. That board was really a 2x6. It didn't look like it, but it was. So, commissioners, our first item of business is our approval of our January 13th, 2020 minutes. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Pritchard, second, Commissioner Leverett. Any discussion on our minutes? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. We have one zoning resolution before us tonight. It's Resolution CZ1 2020, application of Sid Hedrick from AG to E1. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Beal, second, Commissioner Tangi Smith. Any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 22-1 is a resolution to retain a delinquent tax attorney for tax year 2018. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Riccone, second, Commissioner Lewis. Any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 22-2, resolution to accept federal grant funds from the Bureau of Justice Assistance State Criminal Alien Assistance Program for the fiscal year 2019 award period. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Creek, second, Commissioner Bryant. Any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 22-3, resolution to amend the Sheriff's Office Vehicle and Communication Equipment budgets for fiscal year 2020. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Butts, second, Commissioner Gannon. Any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 22-4, resolution to amend the inmate medical budgets for the Montgomery County Jail and the Montgomery County Workhouse for fiscal year 2020. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Gannon, is there a second? Commissioner Joe Smith, Commissioner Harper.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to defer this until the March 9th meeting.
So we have a motion to defer. Is there a second? Commissioner Tangi Smith. Any discussion on the deferral? Commissioner Leverett.
Yes, Mayor, I agree with the deferral. I think there is some additional information and research we need to look into this resolution. So I agree if we can go ahead and defer this, please.
Okay. Commissioner Beal.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also ask for support to defer this out until our next meeting. There's obviously some lack of oversight when it comes to medical services down at the jail, so we need to do more research on that. Thank you.
I wish you'd knock that one down to me. All right, so we have we have a motion to defer 22-4. Did you say the March 9th? Commissioner Harper, is that when it is? March 9th meeting. So, Ms. Jackson, you ready for that?
Yes, sir.
So if you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 22-5, resolution to appropriate funds from the Sheriff's Office Defense Reutilization and Marketing Reserve Fund for fiscal year 2020. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Lewis, second. Commissioner Joe Smith, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 22-6, resolution authorizing the issuance, sale, and payment of general obligation refunding bonds of Montgomery County, Tennessee in the aggregate principal amount of approximately $5,485,000 and providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of debt services on the bonds. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Riccone, second. Commissioner Ray, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Under new business, Resolution 22-7, is there a motion to suspend the rules? Commissioner Gannon, second. Commissioner Leverett, any discussion on suspension of the rules? Are you ready on that, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Resolution 22-7, resolution amending the budget of the Montgomery County Information Technology Department for the creation of a GIS functional support specialist position. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Keene, second. Commissioner Joe Smith, any discussion? Commissioner Beal.
Mayor, thank you. If I'm understanding correctly, this is for a position where the employee has given their notice, if I'm not mistaken, and we are looking to take one position and basically split the duties into two positions. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So wouldn't these funds for the remainder of the year already be allocated under salaries for the original position?
They would, I think, if both positions are filled, and I don't know what the math was, I say you're probably looking at both of them being filled by April. The $19,000 would be the additional dollars that would be above and beyond the salary that was in place for the person that left.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Beal brought this up. This position really works for the assessor's office. I won't go into a lot of detail, but I'll give you the backstory on it. The position that's being vacated does database administration and GIS function, and probably 95% of their work is through the assessor's office. 60% of that is probably data management, and 40% of it is GIS work. And we all sat down and talked about it, and we really need to, those two functions need to be split up. The reason we suspended the rules is the assessor's office has some information that's due by May the 20th, I believe. And if we waited until the March meeting, March 9th, then we got to post the jobs for a week. And it's probably middle of April before we hire somebody. This allows us to get some people in here and get them up to speed before that deadline gets us on May the 20th. So that's kind of the rationale for us suspending the rules. Any other discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Does anyone want to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Under reports, County Clerk's report. Ms. Jackson?
Comes Kellie A. Jackson, County Clerk, Montgomery County, Tennessee, and presents the County Clerk's report for the month of January 2020. I hereby request that the persons named on the list of new applicants to the office of Notary Public be elected. The oaths of the sheriff's deputies are approved as taken. This report shall be spread upon the minutes of the Board of County Commissioners. You received your list of applicants for notaries last week. There were none signed by surety bond, personal surety bond, and you do not have any names that need to be read into the minutes for bond purposes.
Is there a motion to approve the clerk's report? Commissioner Beal, second. Commissioner Butts. Any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, you'll see under your reports filed, there are 2 reports that are new to your agenda, items number 6 and 7. Under nominating committee, I'll yield the floor to Chairman of the nominating committee, Commissioner Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. The nominating committee met last week on February the 3rd and would like to enter these nominations in as a motion. Community Health Foundation, which is a 3-year term. Tommy Bates is eligible to serve another 3-year term to expire February of 2023. Jeff Bibb is eligible to serve another 3-year term to expire February of 2023. And Kyle Luther is eligible to serve another 3-year term to expire February of 2023. Dr. Jennifer Ellis is nominated to replace Dr. Mickey Daughtery for a 3-year term to expire February 2023, and we enter those in as a motion.
Is there a second? Commissioner Ray, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Under County Mayor nominations, Judicial Commissioner Robert L. Peterson, part-time, is eligible for reappointment to serve a 1-year term to expire February 2021. Chair will entertain a motion. Commissioner Beal, is there a second? Commissioner Gannon, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Under our announcements, the March informal commission meeting has been moved to Tuesday, March 3rd at 6 o'clock p.m. This is due to County Government Day in Nashville. The United Way campaign is kicked off for all county employees, and information was placed on each commissioner's desk. And commissioners, every week for the month of February, Montgomery County will be celebrating Montgomery Countyans in honor of Black History Month. So be sure and check out our Facebook page. We update that weekly. And then lastly, I know we have some members of the current leadership Clarksville class in attendance. If you would raise your hands so we can recognize y'all. Welcome. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. And with no further announcements, I'll call on Chief Deputy John Smith to adjourn us.